Hello there friends and followers, and welcome to this Explain 11 video. Today we are going to be taking a look at Traffic Global by Just Flight. In this review of Traffic Global, we'll be taking a look at the plugins, operations, features, and I will be providing you with my thoughts and recommendations. For those of you newcomers, welcome to the channel. It is important for me to state that I pay for all the add-ons that I review here on the channel unless stated otherwise. I have in this case paid the full price of $52.99 for Traffic Global by Just Flight. Considering the fact that the default AI traffic that ships with X-Plane is not really up to the mark, many developers have attempted to create AI traffic for X-Plane. Jar Design with their XLive product, and World Traffic, another product that provides AI traffic for X-Plane, and Live Traffic as well, which is a completely free add-on that will fill up your skies with AI traffic. However, all these products have fallen short to deliver a realistic experience in my view, until Traffic Global came about from Just Flight. This program, in my view, is probably the best attempt at simulating AI traffic for X-Plane. Is Traffic Global perfect? No, in my view it is not perfect, but in my opinion it is the very best attempt at simulating realistic AI traffic in X-Plane. As you can see, the models are quite nice. So these are the AI traffic models. They are very well done in my view, reasonably modeled, and the program follows real-world schedules. So you wouldn't see, for example, Kuwait Airways parked at the gate or at the tarmac here at Dublin Airport in Ireland. We have an aircraft here coming to land. As you can see, very smooth motion of the aircraft as it comes. Maybe we can zoom here a little bit. There is an aircraft waiting here for this aircraft to land before it makes it to the runway. And as the aircraft lands, we can see the strobe lights are on, the beacons, reverse thrust is on. We can see also the effects, so the smoke there as the aircraft came here to land. Very nicely done in terms of the actual aircraft motion as it comes to land. I think it's very well made. As you can see, there are some effects. The heat layer, as you can see, that part probably is not exactly well done. But again, when seeing AI traffic, we'll probably see AI traffic from a distance, so it doesn't really matter as long as that was an abrupt turn. But what I really like about this program is its wide support for available sceneries. That includes both default sceneries and payware sceneries. This airport, by the way, of Dublin is Aerosoft payware version 2. As you can see now, as the aircraft exits the runway onto the taxiway, the other aircraft has been given clearance to take off. Again, the coordination of aircraft on the ground and in the sky is, in my opinion, the very best. And what I really like about this program is that it's a no-brainer. You simply double-click on the installer, it will install all the right files in the right place, and you are good to start the program. So let us take a look at some of the features in Traffic Global. And once you have the program installed correctly, you will be able to access the plugins menu here. And if you click on Traffic Global, the first thing you want to do is go to Settings. Now, I am not sure why they're still using the X-Plane 10 interface, but that is probably because the program has been under development for a very long time, and you can see this is, in my opinion, it doesn't really affect the functionality, but look at that takeoff. That is really a nice takeoff. But in my view, a program that cost $52.99 should have a better user interface. And we'll talk a little about that as we go. But let's take a look here at the features. So this window here provides you with the information regarding the models, the routes, the aircraft, the airports, and how many are usable. So we've got 836 models, 33,000 routes, 115 active aircraft at the moment. Here's another one come to land. You've got online help if you need help. This is where you click this button to enter your license. You can control the traffic density. So if you're suffering from frames, you can reduce the slider here to reduce the traffic. I have, by the way, seen very negligible effect on performance. So this program is definitely very optimized for performance. I haven't really seen any problems with performance, even at London Heathrow Airport with a lot of AI traffic loaded. Dynamic density, I'm not exactly sure what this does, but I have it ticked. Synthetic GA, I have that ticked, and that will introduce some general aviation aircraft into the scene. The sounds will enable the sounds of AI traffic when you're close to the aircraft. I choose not to have this option because it's quite loud and, in my view, not very realistically done. Internal volume is set to maximum effects, so if you turn this off, you will not see the heat blur. So that will definitely save a little bit on performance, but again, the performance hit on explained by Traffic Global is negligible. Some things about UDP ports and things like that. Label size, by the way, here's what, no, that's not what I wanted to do. There. So we can definitely toggle the label sizes here or remove them. And then we'll cover that in a minute. Use TCAS is ticked, collide with the user is unticked, never steal parking is unticked because I'd like to load the aircraft wherever I like, and if you tick this one, then you will not be able to select the you will not be able to place your aircraft at a position where AI traffic has placed an aircraft. Allow substitutes is something I have unticked, and what this is, if AI traffic finds an airliner that a model is not available for, it will use an alternate livery, and that has caused some white liveries to be there, which is highly unrealistic, so I just simply untick this. And what is the preferred view? Follow an AI or center or an AI? I prefer follow an AI. All right, so this is what this little control panel does. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to take you to, there are a lot of features that you can configure and map to your joysticks as far as configuration and control. So we're going to go to the settings menu here, and if we go to, actually let me go to keyboard. All right, we're going to scroll down here to Traffic Global, and as you can see here, we have three options: config, control, and views. By clicking on config, you'll be able to map keyboard buttons to these actions, or alternatively, you can map them to a joystick button, which is what I've done. Then on control, you can deselect AI, increase or decrease traffic by 10%, and then you've got the views. Now the views, you've got a number of things that you can do with the views. I will let you guys take a look at this, but it's worthwhile mapping those to a hat switch if you have multiple joysticks, which is my case. So let me show you actually what I've done. So if I go to the joystick, so this is my joystick, which I'm no longer using for flight control, but I like the number of buttons it's got. So what I've done is I've mapped those buttons, this hat switch and this hat switch, to control the views and the different features of Traffic Global. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this Traffic Global radar window. So we can definitely make it a bit bigger here. You can zoom in if you want, and then we can look at the aircraft here just by clicking on the actual aircraft. We can look at one here. Let me see here if we can. I'm not sure why it keeps coming here and it doesn't show us. Okay, so let us, for example, click on this one. There we go. So now you can follow this aircraft, which is an AI aircraft. This is an Aer Lingus model, And as you can see, the model itself is done quite well. I really like what they've done with these models. Yeah, let me put this down here. Again, this is the effect. You can turn this off if you don't like it. You can see the beacon lights, the strobes. The landing lights should be on, which they're probably on, but can't see them. But yeah, overall, I think the AI traffic models are done quite well. Let's see if we can find something else here. Yep, there is another one here, taxiing on the taxiway. And we can do the same thing. I think you get the idea. There's another, this is a parked aircraft, a Ryanair. Again, look at the model. The model, I think, is done quite nicely. And, you know, considering that this is AI traffic, the quality is very good and the effect on performance is very low. So very well done by Just Flight here as far as performance optimizations and the visual elements. Okay, so the next thing we're going to take a look at is the traffic global flight schedule, which is something I really like. I think this is brilliant. As you can see, these are all flights. You can select departures out of Dublin, and these are real-world schedules again, and you can see all the aircraft and at which gate they are parked. And you can actually, it's an interactive schedule. So if you click, for example, on an aircraft, it will take you there. So this is, let's see, this is Aer Lingus flight, where's the flight number? Flight 166, bound to London Heathrow, is currently at 612 Charlie. And this is the type, it's a 320B, and there you have it. Yep. And you can do, of course, the same thing. So there's an aircraft, Emirates. So this Emirates flight is, let's see, where is it going? It's going to Dubai International. This is EK162. The registration number of the aircraft, the type is 777-200. And of course, airlines is Emirates Airlines. So as you can see, very useful for department. By the way, you can go for arrivals as well. So these are aircraft that has just arrived and parked at the gate. Very, very useful. I really like what they've done here. And the funny thing is, the interface of the the flight schedule is that of X-Plane 11, but the control panel is that of X-Plane 10. So I'm not sure what's the deal there. Not a big deal in my view. But again, I would expect a much better control panel. Also, another thing that I would like to have seen in a program at this price is the actual mapping of the controls, the views, and the whether it's to a joystick button or to a keyboard button. Maybe there's like a window where you can select instead of actually going into the X-Plane settings menu. Again, not a big deal, just from a user perspective. I think it would have been a lot better to have that option. All right, so another thing I want to show you is what happens as you change the time. Okay, so I'm pressing the L button, and as you can see now, everything is moving quite fast. So it's actually, everything is happening according to the time of day. So Traffic Global continues to follow the real-world schedules for aircraft. And as you can see, the time is changing now, and you can see the aircraft moving along the schedule, which is really cool. There were some issues with this when the program first came out, but this was fixed in the latest update. As you can see, it's a beautiful night here at Dublin Airport, and really looking at the traffic at night definitely is far more realistic than than having no AI traffic at all, or the default AI traffic by X-Plane. How does this program compare to XLive, for example? So XLive simulates AI traffic without any regard to reality in terms of real-world schedules. Now, as you can see here, this is a problem, and this only happens when you fast forward, as we've done. So definitely some bugs there that needs fixing in terms of the schedules and what happens as you fast forward the time. But nonetheless, it works okay. The aircrafts are not pointing upward like they used to at the initial release, so that has been definitely addressed. So how does this compare to, for example, XLife? Again, XLife simulates AI traffic, unfortunately pays no attention to real-world schedules or the actual liveries or the aircraft models. It uses different aircraft models, so it comes with its own, but you can use the CSL models for XLife. And then, of course, if you want integration with ATC, then you can opt for XLife Deluxe. If we look at world traffic and what would be the single most differentiating factor between Traffic Global and world traffic is really the ease of use. World traffic depends on the user to create the flight plans, the flight routes. You have to do a lot of work to create the actual routes. Yes, there are real-world routes, and the accuracy of the aircraft taxiing on the taxiway is done quite well, but there is a lot of work that the user has to do. And so people will have to rely on somebody making a good tutorial for one and realistic flight routes in order to enjoy the plugin. Whereas in Traffic Global, it comes out of the box. You don't really have to do anything other than run the installer and enjoy AI traffic. So in my view, if you were looking at an investment, so let's suppose that you do not have XLife, you do not have world traffic, and you do not have Traffic Global, the choice for AI traffic, hands down, would be Traffic Global. Now, if you are not looking for a highly realistic environment, then you would probably opt for something like XLife, or if you just want AI traffic to be there, you can opt for XLife or even live traffic. Live traffic, by the way, when it first came, it's a free add-on. I don't like the fact that it keeps displaying messages on the top of the screen, but it is without a doubt a very good plugin, and it is a freeware plugin. So definitely a good choice if you're looking for AI traffic. It used to have real-world schedules when it first came out, and then I guess the developer or the provider of the API for the real-world schedule started charging, and so the developer had to make some changes to the plugin, and now you have to subscribe to the actual API to be able to get real-world schedules. But it is a very good plugin, highly realistic. But in my view, Traffic Global saves you the hassle of really having to go through, buying APIs or creating flight world routes and things like that. So my overall assessment of the program is that it is a well-made program. It does have some issues that I'm sure will be ironed out with time. I really like the fact that it is fully optimized to work on a wide range of scenery, both payware and freeware, including, by the way, the default airports by X-Plane. Before we conclude our video today, I want to take you to another airport, which is Dubai International Airport, and we are going to take a look at some of the AI traffic departing and landing at Dubai International. We are now at Dubai International Airport, and as you can see, we can see lots of Emirates flights here, and again, real-world routes and schedules have been loaded here at Dubai International. We can see Emirates, Ethiopian, Cathay Pacific, United, Qantas. Again, very well done in terms of the placement. So if you look at how the aircraft, how Traffic Global places the aircraft at the gate, they are placed in exactly the right spot. And this is, by the way, a payware airport of Dubai International. And so I do have a lot of appreciation for what Just Flight has done in this plugin. I think it is a very well-made plugin. As you can see here now, all the aircraft are properly parked at the center line of the gate. Over here as well, British Airways. We've got an aircraft here taxiing. It looks like Gulf Air. Yeah, that's a Gulf Air aircraft. Again, very realistic because we're following real-world schedules. So you would see the what you'd expect. So you wouldn't, for example, expect this Gulf Air Airbus at Dublin, but definitely you'd see it at Dubai International or at Bahrain or Kuwait. Again, just look at the placement of the aircraft here at the gate. And this is, by the way, all AI traffic. So this is all Traffic Global, including the aircraft on this side here. These are all by Traffic Global. So in my view, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very well-made AI traffic program for X-Plane. And if you don't have any of the other AI traffic programs, I believe this program is worth the investment of $52.99. I would like to see some improvements to the AI and maybe take a look maybe at the time lapse. So again, if we increase the time here, you might you might end up seeing some problems, but as it stands today, I think it looks gorgeous and really fills up the sky with AI traffic. By the way, here we can look at this. This is all the AI traffic available in the area, and there is an aircraft about to take off. So let's take a look here. Yeah. So that's a 777, and it's shaking for some reason. There we go. So it's taken off now. Again, not 100%, but close enough from a distance. I think you will enjoy taking a look at all the aircraft taking off and landing. Having been a user of XLife, of World Traffic, of Live Traffic, I can assure you that this is by far the very best program available for AI traffic. And one more time, let's bring up the, there is one thing I didn't show you, which is the flight path view. So this is flight path view of the selected AI. And as you can see, the aircraft is climbing. And we can see the climb here in feet. Again, this is the, Traffic Global flight schedule. And as you can see here, we have this particular flight, 777 Emirates airline going to Kuwait International. Again, this is a real world schedule, and you have the aircraft at the gate. There's plenty of aircraft here. So if we look at departures, for example, yeah, so this aircraft here is now, let's see, this is a departure to, I'm not sure why we're seeing it, but it's actually not a departure. It looks like when the aircraft is airborne, it's marked as a departure. But this Emirates flight, as you can see, the model looks absolutely gorgeous. And this Emirates flight is inbound to Dubai from Kuwait. Very, very nice indeed. You can see also the flaps. See the flaps here. Really well done in terms of the model. We can see the landing lights. There you go. And again, the model, I mean, the engines are a bit off. Maybe they can do some work on the actual engines here with this specific model. But overall, I think this looks great. Very, very good indeed. Well, folks, this pretty much brings us to the conclusion of our video today. I would like to award Traffic Global by Just Flight the Q8 Pilot Channel Seal of Approval. In my view, this program delivers on what it promises to deliver, and it does it quite well. It is definitely worth its price of $52.99 in my view, and I would definitely place it as the very best AI traffic program available for X-Plane today. If you have any questions, please do post your comments in the comment section below. As always, until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.